Okay, sometimes on these videos the sound quality changes from one to the next. Like, there's no way to predict when the microphone is going to be working well or not. So one of these days I'll buy some new equipment. One of these days. Maybe I should be using a lighter background with this. This darker stone. I'm just kind of getting tired of the lighter background. Yeah, I'm actually hesitating putting this in the rock challenge category because it's flaking really well. But the hard part is making sure I don't break this. Because I don't have another similar piece of Alibates from this batch. I don't think. I think this seems to be the best piece. Okay, this next thinning pass is the hardest one. The most difficult one to do. And I know I said I was going to make a Cahokia, but for the sake of being quick with this video, I think I'm just going to make a Carlsbad. And there's not much edge retouch on those, and the notch work is much less stressful. And I've made a Cahokia on film already, so yeah, I was asking a little bit too much from that edge. This stuff really needs to be ground down so that the platform doesn't snap off and cause a step fracture. Much better. Sometimes I can get lucky and catch the top of that step fracture. It looks pretty bad. I'm going to have to get it from the other side or it's going to stay there. So I'm going to take a little bit of a risk here and try to do some longer flakes with this bigger flaker. I'm not liking the results from the smaller flaker because the hardness is so high on this stone. Almost there. Not quite. I'm going to have to start getting serious about clearing those step fractures away from the edge. With tough material like this, you really can't be shy about attacking the edge. As if those edges start crushing, it just leads to more crushing and more stepping. I'm taking a chance of breaking this by being more aggressive, but if I'm not more aggressive, I'm going to end up with a lot of steps on the edge. So I'm going to get a little bit closer, turn the edge a little bit closer to this step fracture and see if I can get that, get in close enough to remove it. And I'll lose a lot of width. But that's alright. You know, obsessing over step fractures is a modern thing, but I can't help it either. Okay, so I think I'm close enough to that to remove it. As long as the edge is not crushed right there. As long as I don't crush it with a lot of strikes. There's another step fracture there I want to get rid of. I think I may have just crushed the edge on that. There's still a remnant of this one here too, but I think I can get that. I just noticed that. Nice. It's kind of frustrating with the step fractures on these shaping flakes. Even the shallow flakes will step. Okay, so just a little bit more work on the blade and a few notches and I'll be done. Or a couple notches, I should say. Let's see.
Canadian. Canadian. I just like saying, so do I. I just stupid. I just like saying, you're such a hypocrite. No, I just like saying Canadian. You think? I have a friend that's from Canada. I'm Canadian. I know. Canadian. I just like. Everybody loves me. Canada. Canada. Yeah. Canada. I just like saying Canada. You did think so. We have a friend that's from Canada. Canadian. I mean Canada. That's like those are fast and that we only like big and that. Yeah, we don't want us to hear what we're saying. Yeah, wait, how about the crude? No, that's not what I was talking about. What are you talking about? Kirsten, I'll tell you later. Get out of here. Hey.
So funny to listen to those guys on in the background.
Give me that choke button. Oh!
One thing cool about this steel punch is it produces some really nice big punch flakes on this hard material. As long as I set up the platforms,
Why are you trying to dig it up? Try to dig it down.
okay, so I think I can pressure flake the rest. I gotta hurry anyway. It's almost 30 minutes. I think the notches on these Carlsbad points slope slightly upward on some of the finest made examples. But there's not many flakes in the notch, so they did it quickly. Okay, I'm not going to mess with that. I got lucky with that one. Okay, so a little bit on the tip and that's it. These Carlsbad points were not heavily retouched. So just some basic flaking to get it sharp is usually good enough. And a lot of them were very thick, so this is kind of on the thin side for them, but that's alright. Now many of these were heavily resharpened, so when archaeologists find these, they're usually a lot stubbier, you know, with shorter tips, shorter blades. And the blades are usually never concave, it's usually always convex. I gotta go easy on the retouch. Okay, so that's good enough. For some reason, the whole thing seems a little bit out of focus. Hopefully I wasn't too close or too far. Alright, so final dimensions. About 7/8 by inch and 3/4 or a little more. Inch and 13/16. Anyway, I think that's pretty representative of a Carlsbad point, although the stem might be a little short. It also looks like an Alice. But there you go. There's some points that look like this out here in West Texas and New Mexico that are made of Alibates. You know, a lot of bold flaking, very little edge retouch. And with the notches kind of sloping upward. Alright, it did have a nice little ear on there before I started messing with it.
No, 2 hours. Yeah, back tomorrow, so it's a good time. Okay. Okay, let's just wake up. Shush. Wake up early. Shush. And dig it up. That's a shush. Is there a bottom? Yeah, I found the bottom.
Okay.
Maybe this is the place where they bury Black Widows. Maybe. What the? How long have they even been there? I remember there used to be like rocks around it. It says we moved there in 2006.
Okay, that's it.